Hello guys, I am Tim with Tim Talks Tech. Welcome back to another video. I am here with Zotac's RTX 2060. Recently launched, I'm late to the game, I know. Inside this little beast of a card, clocked at 1680 megahertz, we've got 6 gigabytes of GDDR6, 1920 CUDA cores, 240 Turing cores, and 30 ray tracing cores. Located on the back end's video ports, we've got 3 DisplayPort 1.4s, 1 HDMI 2.0. I chose this card based off a video by J2 He went over how base cards can sometimes go above and beyond what the pre-overclocked cards can do. And I like to save money. It's also dual fan and not super tiny, but not too long. Inside the box, we've got another box. So exciting. Alright, so what's coming in this box? We've got instruction manuals, as usual. We've got our card. Ooh. Let's take a look at her, huh? Now that looks nice and beefy. Feels like a plastic shroud on top, usual. Some nice fans, and a nice backplate, all metal. Live to gain. We got our ports back here, 3 DisplayPort 1.4s and 1 HDMI 2.0. And that appears to... Alright, so let's check inside this little booklet and see what we've got. What kind of goodies will they give us with the instruction manuals? Which, of course, the instruction manuals are kind of useless at this point. Buy Zotac pre-made PCs. Or is this built? No, it looks like pre-made PCs. VR to go, that'd be pretty awesome to try. I'm not that rich. Quick installation guide. Now, they always say quick, but then you had to follow the map to the lost city of gold, written in 10 different languages. And a little card saying to install the latest Zotac GeForce drivers. That wraps up her unboxing, so let's plug her in and see what she can do. So I went through and tested Far Cry 5, GTA 5, Battlefield 5, and Overwatch. I went through all settings set to ultra or maximum of whatever the game could handle in 4K, 1440, and 1080. Starting off with Far Cry 5 benchmark, I was reaching almost 120 frames per second at everything ultra in 1080p. However, in 1440 we were still reaching into the mid to high 70s. In 4K we were reaching well below 50 frames per second and would be considered unplayable by most. In Battlefield 5, we received some pretty surprising results as both 1080 and 1440 were able to stay at a stable 60 frames. However, in 4K we were reaching around 45 frames per second average. Moving on to the much older GTA 5, 1080p and 1440 were well exceeding into 130 to 140 frames, while 4K was dipping just below 100 frames per second. With everything set to maximum in Overwatch, a more esports based game, we're receiving a much lower frames per second but a more consistent rate than the previous ones. 1080p and 1440 still being well playable, while 4K is dipping way below that line into the 55-53 frames per second area. Now the RTX 2060 does have those RTX features, however I did not really use them. Barely any games use them, and the only one I had that could was Battlefield 5. I used it just in reflections, and the game barely uses reflections at all. And you can't really benchmark the RTX features because every game's going to use them completely differently. Now, should you get this card if you're just looking for the RTX features? I would suggest not. When I was running Battlefield 5 with RTX, everything set to Ultra and RTX lowered down, or lower graphical settings with higher RTX, I was receiving lower frames at about 60. It's going to be a long time till RTX really hits where it needs to be. However, Nvidia is making that easier now, as The GTX line, 1060GB and better, should be getting access to the full RTX feature set. However, you're clearly not going to get as great results due to the lack of the RTX cores. Now, is this card going to be worth it for you? It really depends. If you play 1080p games and you're looking for a really high refresh rate, or even 1440, this card may do it for you because you can get that with almost ultra or with custom settings. And if you're looking for 4K, this may not be the card for you at all, as most of the games at ultra will not run very well. Now, if you customize the graphics settings, you can get really good 4K gameplay. Coming from an RX 470, I was expecting much worse results, but the response that I got from this card was much better than I thought. I received Battlefield 5 for free with mine, which dropped the price more down to $190, which compared to the 1660p based off of other videos I've watched, you're going to get more features and slightly better gameplay out of that. You can find a link down below in the description to the Zotac RTX 2060 that I got, unmonetized. Thank you for watching. Visit my channel for more videos and subscribe to know when there's more coming out.